I do want to take the time to speak about Ansu Fati. I believe that Hansi Flick will reinvent Ansu Fati to be a competitive number 9, and I am going to be explaining why I am saying this. I know that right now, to make a statement like this seems outrageous, but let me give you guys a backstory about Ansu Fati because I believe that it is very important to tell. Ansu broke into the scenes at the age of 16 years old. He was performing as a left winger for FC Barcelona, and he played amazing. He was taking on so many players, scoring goals, providing assists, and we're like, who else can do this at the age of 16 years old? Ansu Fati is amazing. And he looked so composed in front of goal. Pre-injured, Ansu Fati had better goal instincts than Lamine Yamal today. That is how good Ansu Fati was in front of goal at the age of 16, 17 years old. So then came the big injury against Real Betis. And ever since then, there has always been like this narrative that Barcelona do not take care of their best players. And especially with Ansu Fati, that is another thing that I do want to clear up. In his first surgery, he did not fully recover. He had to return after his first injury and he got re-injured, which meant that he had to go through another surgery months later. Barcelona told Ansu Fati to rest, to take his time, and that he should not be rushing the process. But then he yet again went against the medical services of the club and his knee was not fully healed. And then a few months later, he went through a third surgery. Once again, it did not heal. His knee was still hurting. And then he went through another surgery, which was the final one. And the doctors decided to take off a part of his meniscus. And at this point, Ansu Fati was training under Xavi Hernandez. And if you pay close attention to Ansu Fati's minutes and physical condition under Xavi Hernandez, he never really got injured. Before Xavi, every time he had a surgery or he felt like he was okay, he rushed himself back and he did not listen. And that is why Ansu Fati kept getting re-injured. But with Xavi, I felt like there was much more of a order coming from Xavi. And Ansu Fati did listen. When Xavi said, you don't look ready, you're not 100% healthy yet, Ansu Fati said, okay, you're right. And that is why Ansu Fati did not really get injured under Xavi. And Ansu Fati was playing a lot of minutes in the 2022-2023 season. And he had an amazing season, by the way. He played 51 games, scored 10 goals, and provided 3 assists. And here's the problem. Once that season was over, which was at that time considered Xavi Hernandez's first season, in the summer of 2023, Ansu Fati said, I want to have more prominence. And even the father felt like Ansu Fati should be given more minutes because Ansu Fati was being rotated through Dembele, Ferran Torres at that time. And this is what Ansu Fati said during the summer of 2023. I felt that everything I did was not valued and that's why I left. I want to show that I can contribute to this club. We have to take care of Lamine and Kubarsi. I don't want them to go through the things I did. There's a lot of responsibility here and the club has to protect them. And so as you can see in the statement, he said, I felt like everything that I did was not valued and that is why he left. That is the reason why he went to Brighton, is because Ansu Fati wanted more minutes. And you know what happened when Ansu Fati went to Brighton? He got re-injured. So everything was going well under Xavi Hernandez. His minutes were being managed and he was becoming 100% healthy, but Ansu Fati yet again did not listen and said, I want to have more prominence. I want to play more. And then he went to Brighton and once again, he got re-injured. So I don't necessarily believe this narrative about how Barcelona mismanaged his minutes and that they forced him to go onto the field. I just don't buy that. I think the reason why Ansu Fati is here today is because of him. He could have had it all in the previous season and stayed at Barcelona. Like really think about that, right? In that season where he played 51 games back in 2022 and 2023, he was Barcelona's second best goal scorer with 7 goals, tied with Rafinha. Then you had Lewandowski who had a total of 23. But still, you're the second best goal scorer at Barcelona and you're still going to be saying, I'm going to be leaving because I don't feel important enough? Really? And so this also leads me towards other players like Gavi and Pedri. Gavi got injured during a friendly playing with Spain. It had nothing to do with FC Barcelona. Nothing. Pedri, I believe, would be the closest thing to, us saying that maybe, yes, it was Barcelona's fault. But still, when Pedri was playing so many minutes under Ronald Koeman, it is because Barcelona were hurting financially. They did not have any backups to Pedri. You may say, but Kevin, they had Coutinho. Yes, of course they had Coutinho, who could have also rotated with Pedri, but he was playing at such a low level, they did not count on Coutinho and they wanted to bet on Pedri because Pedri was being phenomenal. But we had no other backups at that time. And then Pedri went to the national team. It really did hurt the player because he was getting fatigued and then he was being forced to play within all the minutes in the Euros, all of them, under Luis Enrique. Unlike Lamine Yamal, right? De La Fuente was saying, okay, Lamine Yamal, you play 60 minutes, Nico Williams, you play 60 minutes and you're going to have to be out. Yamal was being managed very well during the Euros. With Pedri, no, they're like, okay, you're going to play 90 minutes in this game for the Euros all the way until we get into the semifinals. That is what they said. And then Pedri after that, after playing back-to-back 90-minute matches at the Euros, he went to the Olympics. Barcelona had nothing to do with any of this. And I remember Luis Enrique said, okay, if Pedri feels like he can play everything, let him play everything. And that is the wrong approach. You don't allow your players to play everything because if they believe that they can play everything and never get injured, they're wrong. They are so wrong. And that is what Ansu Fati believed in the summer of 2023. He believed that he could play everything, that he was ready, but no, Barcelona knew better. They knew that if Ansu Fati were to play 90-minute matches 2 times a week, eventually he was going to get re-injured, but Ansu Fati did not see that. So in the end, with Ansu Fati now being back, training under Hansi Flick, I'm a big believer that Ansu Fati can regain his his form. I don't necessarily believe that he's going to be popping off out of nowhere, like scoring 15 goals in this upcoming season and providing 12 assists. I'm not saying that, right? I think that it's going to be a slow rise to the top. Deco told Ansu Fati they're not going to be searching for any team for Ansu as long as he continues to impress Hansi Flick during the preseason. And these type of talks are very important to talk about, right? Because Ansu Fati has the number 10 shirt. It's a big deal. Ansu Fati is wearing what Messi used to wear. So these conversations have to be held. Ansu Fati has to be analyzed so closely. Ansu Fati also said that he wants to succeed at Barcelona. Maybe he knew that going to Brighton was a big mistake. He needs to stay. And I think that he's right. He has to stay. And he should only be focusing on succeeding with Barcelona and nothing more. And I think that we are going to be seeing a better version of Ansu compared to what we have seen in the past 2 years. You look at Hansi Flick and how he has these players physically being prepared, having them hit the weights, getting clean mouths, training them with high endurance. It's amazing. And one of the things that I hope Ansu Fati gets from Hansi Flick's training is the mentality. Ansu Fati needs that more than ever, and to not be scared and to believe that he can perform as a number 10 at Barcelona if he does continue, of course. And if you looked at the training footage in the past week, you can see that he looks very strong, he looks fit, he's juggling with the ball at such a high pace. He looks well, and it's great that they are training now because the preseason does start in 15 days. That is still a lot of time for him to get fully fit. And so with Nico Williams potentially arriving at Barcelona and also having Rafinha to reinforce the left wing position, where is Ansu Fati going to play? Because Ansu Fati is going to be returning, seeing a much different Barcelona. I don't necessarily see Ansu Fati beating Nico Williams and Rafinha on the left wing. They have been so efficient on the left wing with their respective clubs. I think that Ansu Fati's true position and where he should go moving forward is the position number 9. Within the 4-2-3-1 system, I see the vision of Nico Williams on the left, Pedri as the central attacking midfielder, Lamine Yamal on the right wing position, and Ansu Fati as the 9. It is an attack that is very Spanish, I would say. And within that attack, you have everything. You have Nico Williams' pace, Pedri's control, Lamine Yamal's creativity in the final third, and the goal instinct of Ansu. The chemistry between these players will be insane because they're not only going to be playing together at Barcelona, but also in the Spanish national team. They're always going to be together. It's very similar to the situation of Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, and Gerard Piqué. They always saw each other at Barcelona and also in Spain. And that is why their chemistry back in 2010 through 2015 was world class. No team could have outplayed the midfield and the defense because of how well they communicated. And so within this version of Barcelona, that type of chemistry is going to be transferred to the attack. As for the double pivot, I just do not know who is going to be there. It could be Gavi with Frankie, or Gavi with Andreas Christensen, or Gavi and Merino, or Gavi and Casado, or Gavi and Kubarsi. We'll see what Hansi Flick does have in mind, but seeing Ansu as the 9 with Pedri, Lamine Yamal, and Nico Williams surrounding Ansu, it's something beautiful that you can potentially build here. I'm also going to be showing you guys some pictures so you guys can see exactly what I am talking about. I think that in the past 3 years, we have seen glimpses of Ansu Fati showing that he could be a great number 9. Here is Coutinho, I believe that is right next to the ref who has the ball. He's about to pass it to Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati gets ready. He lets the ball go across his body, uses his left foot to position the ball in the best space possible, and goes for the goal, and he scores right through the middle. You look at this other play here, you can see Ansu Fati in the middle between the center backs. Jordi Alba receives the ball, passes it to the left winger of Barcelona. Ansu Fati is running into the box right in the middle right there. He receives the ball, corrects his position, and scores the goal. Once again, showing that he can be a great number 9 and a player who has great arrival. You look at this other play here. Here's a very recent one with Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal has the ball on the right wing. He passes it towards, I don't know if that's Ferran Torres or Gundogan, I might be wrong, but he passes it towards one of the attackers. You can see Ansu Fati making that run behind the defensive line. He runs with the ball. He's very composed. He's on a 1v1 situation with the goalkeeper, and once again, he scores the goal. It's right through the middle. The number 9 position could be his. And so ideally, in my dreams, right, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I would like to see Yamal receive the number 10 shirt, Ansu take on the number 9, and Nico Williams taking on the number 11 shirt, with Pedri taking on the number 8. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.